While you're shopping at the market, a line of text appears on the celery in front of you. Jade spirit root. You rub your eyes. Could it be that the stress of studying is causing hallucinations? Shaking your head, you pick up a tomato nearby. Again, it says that the mosquito is sucking the fruit of the salt tree. What the heck? You tremble your hand, almost dropping the tomato on the ground. Then you look around to see what's going on. There's nothing special about this. Boss, why is this selling for 4 yuan per pound? You are bewildered. 4 yuan per pound for a so-called rare fruit? Are you kidding me? You slap yourself twice. It must be related to studying, right? It must be. You can't show this to the boss. The kid thinks it's too expensive. You don't have to act like this. I'll give you a discount. You bought celery and tomatoes. You pick up a box at another stall. This time, there's nothing strange. You let out a sigh of relief. It seems that was indeed a hallucination. Let's buy some wood ear mushrooms. Tonight's dinner will be complete. But when you look at the dark wood ear mushrooms, you let out a sound. What the hell? Rare spiritual medicine. What's going on here? You can't help but feel curious. Could it really be a sky-high priced spiritual medicine? Then you pick up your ear. Boss, how much is this? 10 yuan. You fall silent. Looks like I've really become foolish from studying. After buying eggs and wood ear mushrooms, you turn around, ready to head home. At this moment, a sudden change occurs. In just 10 minutes, the host discovers 3 rare materials. It's simply terrifying. You have received the recognition of the tube. The universal bestiary system has been bound. Binding time, August 31st, 2026. You are bewildered. You glance at the date on your phone. It clearly says August 31st, 2025. What a trash system, so unreliable. What's the purpose of the universal bestiary? However, after waiting for a long time, there's no response. You let out a sigh, probably just hearing things. Why are there so many strange things today? In the blink of an eye, you return to the neighborhood. The stray cat you usually see is lounging in the sun. You instinctively reach out your hand. Big fool, come here, let me pet you a bit. Just then, text appears above the orange cat's head. Ghost cat demon. Immediately after, a piercing alert sounds. Warning, warning, detected the approach of a terrifying lord-level creature. Please evacuate immediately. You look at the cat in front of you, meowing at you. You call this terrifying. You finally understand. You've just acquired an artificial idiot. Then you pat the orange cat's head. So many strange things today. I won't pet you for now. Go play. The orange cat seems to understand and turns to run away. The host remains calm in the face of a lord-level creature. Outstanding performance. Specially activated the exciting explanation feature. You gasp. What the hell, did this bucket drink fake wine? Back home, you try saying, tube, activate the exciting explanation feature. Ding, activating the explanation for the current exciting material. Afternoon of August 31st, 2026. The sky is covered by eerie black fog. Juju the cat accidentally wanders here, lost its way due to the black fog. As time passes, the power within the black fog begins to erode his body, ultimately becoming a ghost cat demon. Extremely terrifying. At this moment, the host encounters it, remaining calm under pressure, using verbal wit to drive it back. Truly impressive. After watching the exciting explanation, you realize this tube seems a bit off, but out of curiosity, you take out the ingredients you bought today. As you open the universal bestiary, you choose the materials category, which includes the rain shelter root that enhances training efficiency, the red flame that boosts physical strength, and the ghost ears that increase mental strength to resist inner demons. After viewing the 3 images, the option to extract rewards appears below, and you click to extract the jade spirit roots entry. Physique +2, extracting the entry for the blazing fruit. Strength +2, extracting the entry for the ghost ears. Mental strength +2. In an instant, a warm current surges from within you. You suddenly feel invigorated. To verify its authenticity, you even pick up the weights you haven't touched in a long time. You, who could originally lift it only 20 times. This time, you lift it all at once, and you're amazed. Wow, this is actually real. Didn't you say this would happen in a year? Not only have I achieved it myself, I've also gained a year's advantage over others. Thinking of this, you open the biological bestiary again. The ghost shadow demon possesses dark attribute powers. A natural assassin, capable of penetrating souls. You also possess powerful mental attacks. You eagerly choose to extract and gain the ability. The ghostly realm emits sharp cries to perform soul attacks, and briefly dazes the enemy's spirit. The longer the control lasts, you are genuinely excited. Who wouldn't want to summon the wind and rain? Call me. But you still have some doubts. Why wasn't there a prompt when I bought eggs? Then you take out rice, garlic, and other items. Again, there are no prompts. Tube, explain this to me. However, the tube is silent this time. You take a deep breath. Forget it. I'm hungry. Let's eat first. But just then, your phone rings. It's your campus beauty girlfriend, Lu Ruoyan. She's the white moonlight of all the boys in school, youthful and beautiful, and she's a top student. And you're the one all the boys are jealous of. Coming from a poor family, worthless in every way, but Lu Ruoyan didn't contact me the whole summer. Now she reaches out to me. Could it be that you have some kind of guess? Sure enough, you opened the message. It looked like a long message. It seemed quite lengthy. To sum it up, just 2 words. Break up. You shook your head and smiled. there's no way to hold on. Then you replied with a simple, good. Meanwhile, at the Liu family's villa, Liu Ruoyan looked at your reply of, good. She frowned. He Xiao, are you playing hard to get? What a pity. Matching social status is less important than love. I've already received a direct admission to the hydrogen bomb program. We're ultimately not from the same world. At this moment, you composed yourself and headed to the kitchen. Then you happily cooked a meal. After finishing the meal, you opened your computer to search for a news article you had seen before. August 15th. The Jiangzhou subway missing persons case. It was a subway line in trial operation. According to the surveillance footage, the last subway train was at the stop before the final station. The carriage was still empty. Then the surveillance inside the carriage malfunctioned. However, when the train reached its final destination, several unconscious passengers appeared out of nowhere in the carriage. Upon waking, they had no memory of how they ended up on the subway. After investigations by the police and technicians, no abnormalities were found, and the passengers were unharmed. There were no losses of money or valuables. The incident didn't escalate. Looking back now, there's another possibility why it didn't escalate. That is, it was suppressed from above. Then you checked the news from other regions. There were sightings of a huge shadow by the sea. There were reports of an oval light ring appearing over the desert. There were faces appearing on dead old trees. The news made your scalp tingle, although these were released by local small media outlets. But is there a possibility that the world is truly beginning to change? Maybe I should check out the subway station first. With that thought, you got up and left, soon arriving at the empty subway station hall. There wasn't a single person, which puzzled you. Why isn't there even a staff member here? Look over there. You tried to find something suspicious. How did those passengers get on the subway? Meanwhile, in the subway monitoring room, a woman was staring at you intently. In Command Center 3, a man was exhibiting abnormal behavior on the platform, and the walkie-talkie crackled with instructions to continue monitoring as they analyzed his intentions. The woman frowned. What are the boys doing out at night, not going home to sleep? What are they running here for? They must be bored out of their minds. This place seems poorly managed now. In reality, there are people in every hidden corner, ready to respond at any moment. You were heading towards the last platform. Suddenly, an alarm went off. Ahead, a high concentration of black fog loomed. Extremely dangerous. You must not approach, the chances are zero. You looked up. The lights there were dimmer than in other areas. It seems now, the boy seems to be out of sync with time. What he said must be about future events. What exactly is he talking about? Continuing forward here. Alarm. There seems to be extremely powerful clustered creatures hidden in the darkness. Please do not approach. At this moment, 2 mosquitoes flew towards you. You casually swatted them dead. Host, you are awesome, utilizing your wasteful power. With the first kill of 2 leaders and the Void Hunter, you earned 30 points. Do not let your guard down. According to the detection, not far away, several Void Hunters were stirring. You ignored them. The clueless system continued forward. Soon you arrived at the last platform. There stood a uniformed version of you. Seeing you approach, he pulled out his ID. I'm a subway station staff member. What are you doing here? Actually, they have already investigated your identity thoroughly. Currently, you're just a high school senior. You smiled slightly. Sister, I heard them say this subway station is very strange. I wanted to come see you before school started. You probably saw the previous news. Exactly. There are indeed criminals lurking around here. That's why we've increased patrols. You're just a student. It's best not to run around at night. Let's go. I'll walk you out. You nodded obediently. Thank you, sister. After exiting the platform, you left directly. A woman named Wang Qian took out her walkie-talkie. Report to Director Wang. The target has left the subway station. They will notice abnormal behavior. They look like an ordinary student. There's no need to let them follow you. Actually, recover quickly. Immediately call them to follow. There must be no negligence. Go on. This matter must be taken seriously. Wang Qian felt helpless. The agents sent to follow are all special forces level. Over the past half-month. In fact, it's not just one student who came here. Other adventure streamers came here drunk for courage, and you had to send people to follow them each time, to see if they exhibit any abnormal behavior later. For times they returned empty-handed. It really is tiring. At this moment, you pondered while walking, considering that they shouldn't be as simple as they appear, right? It seems that there are signs of abnormal revival. Thinking of this, you asked what the points are for. Every 10 points can be exchanged for a bit of attack. It's still straightforward. Then you opened the new illustrated book. The Void Splitter Head and Creatures. Once they lock onto a target, they will strike with lightning speed. To drain blood. Often, they attack in groups, leaving one defenseless. You hesitated for a moment. You chose to extract. Gaining extraordinary abilities. After locking onto the target, instantly accelerate to launch an attack. You sighed in relief. Luckily, it's not blood-sucking. Otherwise, it would be a bit too much. However, just then, the boy popped up a dialogue box. Host has collected 3 Dark Attribute illustrated books. Activating Dark Attribute effects. Identification ability increased by 30%. Movement speed increased by 10%. You were momentarily brightened. Wow, there's even a bond feature. This is just too awesome. Then you hurried home. But as you walked into an alley, something unexpected happened. Kid, hand over your phone and payment password now. There's no surveillance here. If you don't want to die, don't play tricks. You quickly used 30 points, exchanging for 1 point of strength and 2 points of agility. Just right to try it on these punks. With no hesitation, you lunged at them. Then, like a wolf among sheep, you wreaked havoc. In just a few minutes, 3 thugs were down, moaning in pain. This scene was witnessed by the 2 officers trailing you. What the hell, wasn't the information given about an ordinary student? His strength is almost on par with Wang. The other one is a bit weaker. No, not at all. None left. Otherwise, there would be at least a little bit left. Alright, go write a report quickly. Then, after returning home, you laughed happily. I feel so incredibly strong now. Don't be fooled by how clueless the system seems, but it's still quite powerful. Now you have a basic understanding of the system. The reason the ingredients at home didn't trigger the system should be because there was no revival. However, tomatoes, celery, and mushrooms have shown signs of revival, including mosquitoes and other things as well. There are indeed some places that have revived. I have a little bit of it here, alright. Then we must go to those abnormal places. Something feels off. There I see another middle-aged man in a trench coat. But you arrived at a certain place, then took out a sci-fi looking device, then covered one spot after another. Then someone came to check the situation, frowning. Upon seeing this, Wang Ju stepped forward to inquire, "Sir, any discoveries? It's a bit strange. There are no abnormal energy fluctuations here. It seems that child is a very talented ordinary person." Wang Ju nodded. "Then let's go. It seems we need to continue monitoring the subway station." Then a group of people hurriedly left, and no one knows about the Baijian River near Jiangzhou. At this moment, mist was rising. Gradually, silver patterns began to appear on the willows by the riverside. The grass under the willow began to grow rapidly. Nearby ants seemed to be drawn by some force. They arranged themselves into strange patterns on the ground. It seemed to herald that this world was about to become abnormal. And you, sleeping, were naturally unaware of it. The next day, you woke up early and arrived at class. At this time, your deskmate and ex-girlfriend Lu Ruoyan was already in her seat. Now you took a look at yourself. You used to smile sweetly. But now you turned away. You stared straight ahead, ignoring everything. You also had to lower your head slightly. You scrolled through your phone, checking for any abnormal news. You really had no mind to study now. Everything is about to experience spirit revival. Reading books is no longer purely a waste of time. After a class ended, Lu Wuyan frowned and spoke. "But we have already broken up. I know you're hurting. But do you think self-destructing will make me feel guilty? Studying is for yourself. I hope you won't be so childish." You couldn't help it. You laughed out loud. Alright, stop with the incantations. I know what I'm doing. Just like you said, we're ultimately not from the same world. But for now, let's continue to exit. It was already lunchtime on your phone. You hurriedly left the school. I don't know why it's so dense today. You arrived at a nearby restaurant. You ordered steamed base with a bowl of rice. You took a bite of the base. It wasn't about holding back the time to go in and out. You heard a warning prompt. Host has absorbed a lord-level creature, the azure eagle fish. The meat contains immense energy, posing a risk of explosion due to the host's current weak physique. Host, please proceed with caution. You were baffled. This thing is actually a lord-level creature, and it's quite delicious. You checked the illustrated book. The azure eagle fish lives in well-oxygenated waters. It survives by absorbing the essence of water and the spirit of the moon. Its song possesses magical powers to purify the soul and heal wounds. After reading, you were slightly taken aback. Didn't expect this creature to be a healer. That's interesting. Then you extracted the illustrated book rewards. Gained abilities. Passive ability, Song of the Tide. Allows you and water elements to move more easily in water. Active ability. Restores life to the injured through chanting. Restoration effect. The singing range is related to mental power. You couldn't help but praise. The system is impressive. This is going to turn me into a jack of all trades. After finishing your meal, you learned from the waiter that the base came from the Baijian River. So you hurried off. But after walking a long while, you still hadn't received any system prompts. You felt a bit puzzled. Was that waiter just talking nonsense? You unconsciously walked up to a stone tablet. It had a story engraved on it. Legend has it that this river wasn't always called the Baijian River, until a woman named Bai Ling appeared. She was genuinely kind-hearted. Whenever the river flooded, she would always be the first to organize disaster relief, and personally cook porridge for the victims. She was beloved by the locals, even as heavy rains poured day by day. Jiangzhou City faced an unprecedented flood. The flood destroyed houses on both banks. In the moment of despair, a figure stood up with determination. She raised her hands to the heavens, offering her own life to restore peace to the river. After an unknown time, suddenly, the sky flashed with lightning and thunder. A powerful force surged forth. With a gentle sweep of its tail, it carved a deep trench into the earth. The flood gradually calmed after being diverted. But Bai Ling fell by the riverbank like a broken kite. The dragon let out a mournful cry. Its body gradually became transparent. Finally, it transformed into countless light spots scattered in the river. and Bai Ling's body also slowly faded away. From then on, the river was renamed the Baijian River. This tablet was erected to commemorate Bai Ling. After reading, you sighed. There are such kind-hearted women in this world. Just as you walked past the tablet, the system suddenly prompted the host. Behind the cloud, the host discovered a heavenly paradise. New scene illustrated books have been collected. You instantly felt invigorated. It seems there are indeed signs of revival here. Is the story on the tablet real too? Since it's a revival of spiritual energy, if it didn't exist before, then what's the point of calling it revival? The system said, this is a heavenly paradise. Thinking of this, you walked towards the willow tree ahead. You gently touched the willow branch. You discovered the true immortal path, the azure willow. As I suspected, I was right. Most things that want to revive, the surrounding environment will surely change too. Then you squatted down to observe the grass around you. Some grass was much lusher than the others nearby. After touching it, the system prompted you that a rare herb, the emerald spirit herb, has been discovered. No other abnormalities were found. At this moment, you began to check the material pathways. The azure willow contains the essence of water. Willow leaves and branches can be used to brew spiritual medicine. They have a refreshing and calming effect. Additionally, practitioners can cultivate under it. It aids in cultivating one's heart, enhancing cultivation. The spirit herb is born from the azure willow. Practitioners can consume its dew. It nourishes the body, accelerates recovery from injuries, prolongs life. You clicked your tongue in amazement. These are both excellent items. However, the grass seems unable to produce dew yet. It probably hasn't revived to that extent yet. I'll come back in a few days to check. Then you extracted the illustrated book rewards. Extracting the azure willow illustrated book gives +3 spirit. Extracting the spirit herb illustrated book gives +2 physique. You chuckled. Premium materials are truly different. They add a little more attributes than the rare materials. But just then, a prompt sounded. Host has collected 3 wood attribute illustrated books. Activating wood attribute effects. Increases wound recovery speed by 20%. Next, you checked the scene illustrated books. They were the Black Mist Dead Jade obtained at the subway station and the Heavenly Cave obtained earlier. You were somewhat curious. What rewards can the scene illustrated books extract? It can't just be attribute points again. Extracting the Black Mist Dead Zone illustrated book rewards a special item, the Fearless Key, and extracting the Heavenly Cave illustrated book, rewarded with a special item, the Spirit Tree Seed. According to the system's explanation, the Fearless Key can change its form, from weapon to tool. It's not yet time to use it, and it can also be enchanted. Unfortunately, I'm too weak right now. I can only transform it once like this. I'll keep it for now. I need to think carefully about how to use it. And this item requires spiritual energy. I currently have no place to cultivate it. You glanced at the time. It was already 1:30 p.m. You sighed. The limitations of being a student are still too great. I need to think of a way to drop out. After returning to class, you continued scrolling through your phone. Meanwhile, Lu Ruoyan had changed a bit. Now she has her own. And even being good-looking is useless. After 2 classes, the classroom suddenly went quiet as lightning flashed outside. A storm raged outside. The situation at school is serious. During school, a sudden disaster occurred, and all materials were temporarily left behind. Stay calm. Some classmates were surprised. Some were scared and curious. Only you stood there, dazed, holding the key. At this moment, the key began to glow red and swell. You suddenly felt an ominous premonition. At that moment, the teacher hurriedly entered the classroom. Everyone, don't panic. Received notice from the higher-ups. Extreme weather is not expected to last long. Everyone, please stay quiet. Follow the teacher's instructions. But the key in your hand was getting hotter. You couldn't sit still anymore. You got up and ran for the door. The teacher hurried after you. What do you think you're doing? Come back quickly. It's dangerous outside right now. Lu Ruoyan frowned as well. What does this guy mean? Is he intentionally acting oddly, trying to draw my attention? But just then, a gasp was heard. Everyone, look, someone is live streaming near the Baijian River. Oh my god, what is that? Everyone hurried over. They saw the river seem to be summoned by some mysterious force. Spinning rapidly, a massive water column shot up into the sky. The streamer Lu Ku looked somewhat afraid. Guys, I'm getting out of here. This place is too terrifying. The viewers were instantly excited. Streamer, don't leave. We'll never see a scene like this again. Don't leave with regrets. Let's rocket out of here. Let me see which fellow cultivator is transcending tribulation here. Unaware of all this, you had already run out of the school. The streets were empty. The water level had risen to calf height, and you looked up at the sky. The area with the most lightning seemed to be towards the Baijian River, and you sighed. There's no way to ride an electric scooter. Looks like I can only run out. With that said, you started running wildly in the rain. But as you ran, you realized something was off. At some point, you felt a mysterious aura enveloping you. Your heartbeat, your breathing and steps gradually synchronized. Then you felt a warm current swirling inside you. You were shaken inside. Is this the power of spiritual energy? Host's comprehension is extraordinary. You intuitively grasped the path of cultivation. You've officially entered the ranks of cultivators. Currently at the near 3-star Qi refining stage, feeling excited. finally stepping into the ranks of cultivators. Although your physical attributes far exceed those of ordinary people, you're still ultimately immortal. But cultivators are different. They can absorb the spiritual energy of heaven and earth and convert it into their own. They can attack using spiritual energy. They can defend and even manipulate objects. You felt you were several times stronger than before. After about 10 minutes, you arrived at the Baijian River. What caught your eye was the massive water surface of the river. The rain here was even heavier. You vaguely felt that there was a shadow beneath the river. Warning, danger lurks ahead. Energy anomaly detected. Chaotic turbulence. Once you step inside, it's certain death. Host, escape quickly. You ignored the system, but unconsciously walked forward. This scene was caught live by Lu Ku, shocking everyone. Oh my god, is this person crazy? Quick, call for help. Oh crap. Everyone, look at that. It looks just like the legendary dragon. That's right, the creatures from the riverbed have emerged. You finally saw its true form. Detected an epic level thunder dragon, known for controlling lightning in storms. Brutally powerful. Host, run. You already have a path to death. But your eyes lit up. An epic level creature, it's the first time you've heard of it. If you can take it down, the rewards should be substantial. You could feel the energy radiating from it. The revived dragon is about even with you. Thinking of this, you took out the key, according to your thoughts. It slowly transformed into a long sword. The sword ultimately slipped from your grip. With that, you shot out like a cannonball. Seeing this, Lu Ku immediately ended the live stream. He knew clearly, if you expose the next events, you will be dragged into it. He would be finished. On the other side, Lu Ruoyan stared blankly at the black screen of the live stream. That fleeting glimpse was so familiar. He had just left school half an hour ago. How could he have arrived so quickly? That can't be him, right? I must have seen it wrong. Meanwhile, the Baijian River was surrounded by officials. Lu Ku was immediately detained. Wang Ju approached with a young man. This person was Long Pingyun, sent from above to handle the anomalies. Long Pingyun stood before Lu Ku, closing his eyes to sense the situation. Then he turned to Wang Ju and whispered, "There are no abnormal fluctuations, just an ordinary person." Director Wang waved his hand. The officers took Lu Ku away. At that moment, a loud noise echoed. You collided with the Thunder Dragon. The enormous recoil sent both of you staggering back. The Thunder Dragon roared in anger. You laughed heartily. It felt so exhilarating. Bring it on. With that, you lunged forward again. No special moves, just a flurry of hacking and stabbing, finally encountering an equally matched opponent. It allowed you to familiarize yourself with your own combat skills. Your eyes sparkled with excitement. In the distance, Long Pingyun was shocked. Holy crap, what a terrifying aura. Is that really a human fighting that thing? Actually, Long discovered unknown changes in this world 2 months ago. This land has seen energies they had never encountered before. For this reason, they gathered a group of scientists to develop the energy. After investigations, they found that a few rare individuals had a natural affinity for this energy. This energy was called spiritual energy. Those with an affinity were referred to as pioneers. After reviewing a large number of ancient texts, the higher-ups categorized realms into Qi Refining Realm, Qi Sea Realm, Spirit Profound Realm, Spirit Domain Realm, Divine Travel Realm, Void Realm, Saint Realm. Long Pingyun is one of the best among them. He reached the Qi Refining Realm in just a month. His combat power ranks among the top 10 in the country. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been sent to Jiangzhou to handle the anomalies. But at this moment, he was dumbfounded. What the hell is this strange spiritual energy? But it just began to show signs of revival. How did he become so strong? Even that war god couldn't reach this level. Where on earth did this guy come from? Only to see that several wounds of varying sizes have already appeared on the body of the Thunder Dragon. And you raise your sword and point. Haha. The newly revived abomination, although its spiritual energy is comparable to mine. The attributes are slightly inferior to mine, and the practice is over. Go die. After speaking, ghostly sharp howl activation. Sound waves spread in circles. Lei Jiao is like being shouted at directly. Instantly froze in place. And you took the opportunity to stab the Thunder Dragon's head with a sword. With a whoosh, the head of the Thunder Dragon was directly cut off. And then the body fell to the ground with a crash. The host was terrifyingly so. First kill of an epic creature. Reward 100 points. You didn't pay attention. Instead, look up at the sky. At this moment, the thunder suddenly stopped. The dark clouds slowly dispersed. A ray of sunlight has emerged. And you have already seen the hat in the distance. Uncle. Although I want to contact the official. Thus obtaining a mind that is not restricted. And the identity that can obtain more information. But it cannot be exposed to the public yet. Thinking of this, quietly leave from the other side for a few minutes. Ho Longping frowned and spoke. Director Wang. Those breaths seem to have disappeared. Wang Ju was taken aback. What's going on? The battle should be over. How about I go up and take a look first? Wang Ju frowned. Forget it. Let's go together. If there is an emergency, that's fine too. There should be someone to take care of it. Everyone arrived near the White Dragon Bridge. After Long Pingyun took a deep breath of cold air. It turns out to be the rare lightning attribute power aura. Just revived not long ago. Is there already such a terrifying creature? If this allows him to continue growing, can it really block? The original cage is safe, proud, and confident. But now I am a bit skeptical about life. Wang Ju is also very shocked at this moment. Do you know what this creature is? Long Pingyun shakes his head. not clear. I am also seeing it for the first time. Still need to report to the higher-ups afterwards. Wait for the special group to conduct comparative analysis. Wang Ju sighed. I didn't expect our world to become so incredible. Such a terrifying thing. If flowing into hands. If it must lead to the suffering of living beings. Long Pinyin immediately became resounding and powerful. Wang Ju, don't worry, if there is a war, we will take the lead. This situation is both a crisis and an opportunity. I believe Long Bo will only become stronger, and you have already returned home at this time. If I hadn't thought that Lu Rian suddenly sent a message, I wonder if you have arrived home. I have it. I have my heart. The safety of my classmates is my responsibility. After watching, your mouth is none of your business. After turning off Lu Rian's chat history, you instantly swiped through videos, but suddenly you let out a sound of MY. You saw the video of you confronting Lei Jiao at that time. Has already sparked widespread discussion online. I watched the live video on site at that time. Absolutely no but. It is completely impossible. Now everything has it. I want to ride the wave. Thinking crazy. I am now what the official said. Your face turned dark. Don't cause trouble. Public relations, hurry up and manage the heat. Then a few minutes later, someone took action. I have what I have, and the events I have are accidental. Everyone has heard about the creature seen on the media bridge over the Bailong River in the past. In fact, it is a prepared performance prop. Everyone should be more cautious in the future. Don't let someone with ulterior motives use my password. You breathed a sigh of relief. It's good once you take action, to avoid causing unnecessary trouble. But suddenly you feel something unusual in your pocket. Hurry to take out the fearless key. Now he can switch freely between the key and sword forms. Very convenient. However, at this moment, the key emitted a purple glow. You are suddenly enlightened. Did it automatically enchant after getting rid of the thunder glue? Hurry up and transform into a long sword. Sure enough, the long sword is already covered with tiny thunder. A sword cuts out. Unexpectedly, an electric arc spreads outwards. You nod in satisfaction. Now I can only perform a transformation on the key, and if there are extra transformation numbers now, I can enchant the absorbed other attributes onto the newly transformed weapon. This is what is called a real universal key. Simply terrifyingly strong. Then you open the biological encyclopedia and the thunder gel. Epic level creatures were born at the moment of thunder in the 9 heavens. Lei Jiao possesses the supreme power to control thunder and lightning. Every appearance is accompanied by thunder and lightning that shake the heavens and the earth. Terrifying is this. You pout. From the introduction, it does indeed seem very impressive. But it also has to grow up to be effective. Then extract the encyclopedia rewards to gain abilities. Thunder Heaven Law summons the power of thunder and lightning in nature. Continuously strike at enemies within the scope. Strike range. Duration. The intensity of thunder is related to the spirit. This ability consumes a lot. After looking at it, you immediately gave yourself a big push. Haha. Not dreaming. This is the Thunder King. Damn it. Deservedly an epic level creature. That's just awesome. You can already imagine the scene where you raise your hand and summon a huge lightning bolt. On the other side, Lu Rian is feeling extremely uncomfortable. Repeatedly watching the video of the Bailong River. The clothes seem to be almost the same. Perhaps I shouldn't have been so anxious at that time. It shouldn't have been brought up to break up so early. But I am doing it for his own good too. Now the information is not responding. The one who is wrong is He Xiao. The next morning, you are somewhat skeptical about life. Why haven't the officials come to find me? By their ability, it is impossible not to find out about me. Could it be that I'm too weak? Can't attract their attention? Carrying doubts. You have arrived at the class. The teacher should teach when it's time to teach. Students should study. After a class has passed, the school was surrounded by the police. The man in the trench coat brought Wang Ju and Long Pinyin to the classroom office. The head teacher and classmates of your class were called for a routine inquiry. The content of the inquiries is all the same. What abnormalities has He Xiao had in the past 2 months? But the result was that they were investigated unanimously. Except for yesterday. The rest of the time is nothing special. Finally you're passed. I am so careful with them. After all, you are defined by the upper echelons as not being strong. The man who left with you. The man in the trench coat spoke first. Student He Xiao. My name is Yuan Chang. Is one of the person in charge of the southeast region. You smile slightly. Hello. May I ask if there is anything wrong? First, thank you for single-handedly calming the crisis. Secondly, you can bring up any ideas you have. This is a reward and encouragement for you. You nod your head. Let's not talk about rewards for now. Can you tell me what the higher-ups need me to do? Yuan Chang appreciated you with a glance. The era we now define as the revival of spiritual energy. The higher-ups want you to join us. We provide you with resources and information. At the same time when the country needs it, I hope you can contribute your strength. Then after a discussion among you several people, you ultimately became an advisor to the Jiangzhou Abnormal Investigation Bureau, and was admitted to the Southeast Military Academy as a special recruit. After everything has been handed over, Yuan Chang took you away from school. The other side, the class teacher walked into the classroom. Students announce a good piece of news. He Xiaoyi from our class has been admitted to the Southeast Military Academy with special approval. When this was said, collective shock. He Xiaoping usually looks like nothing. It turns out that such an impressive school is inaccessible even with connections. He was unexpectedly admitted despite not meeting the criteria. No wonder squad leader Lu broke up with him before. He acts like nothing is wrong. I don't know what team leader Lu is feeling right now. He deserves to be recommended to Tsinghua University and looks down on others. Heh. I never thought you were this kind of person. If the person on the White Dragon Bridge is really you, then why have you been blocking me all these years? Do you think I am not cooperating? Dead scumbag. I hate you. You have already arrived at an investigation bureau. Not only visited the Energy Instrument Research Room, also obtained detailed explanations from the Cultivator Realm Manual regarding the Qi Refining Realm to the Void Realm. If the Sage Realm is unified and written down, you raise your eyebrows every 3 stars with a small script. A great realm. A large card. Written so detailed. Doesn't seem fake. Since there is a system, then can I become a saint before the full outbreak of the revival of spiritual energy? It sounds like the market is full. At this moment, Long Pinyin found you. Today is to let you get familiar with the Investigation Bureau. Anything that happens afterwards will be communicated between you and me. I'm very happy to become colleagues with you. Some casual conversation. After Long Pinyin sent you back home, you just walked in the door. Just received a message. 1 million yuan credited to the bank card. This is the reward given to you above. You are suddenly enlightened. Mada has been so many years. Finally can get rid of the title of being poor. After treating myself to a big meal. You have taken out the practitioner's manual again. I am currently at the 3rd star of the Qi Refining Realm. If according to what is said here, wanting to advance to the 4th star of the Qi Refining stage is a hurdle. Thinking of this, cross-legged with eyes closed, start trying to enter a cultivation state. Gradually, the air around you seems to become lively. The spiritual energy around seems to sense your call. Begin to gather towards your body. However, after 20 minutes, you furrow your brows. According to the current concentration of spiritual energy on Blue Star, wanting to rely on this method to break through to the 4th star of the Qi Refining Realm is almost as difficult as ascending to the heavens. Want to improve faster? We just need to find those points with slightly more abundant spiritual energy. Just at that moment, you have a flash of inspiration. It seems there is another way to try. Then exchange the 10 attributes obtained from the previous 100 points. Power plus 2 points. Add a little to the physique. Agility plus 3 points. Charm plus 3 points. Still have a little spare added successfully. The host has successfully broken through to the 3-star Qi Refining stage. Reach the 4th star of the Qi Refining Realm. You are excited. I knock. Unexpectedly really trustworthy. Hurry to feel it out. Not only is the physical fitness comprehensively strengthened, and the spiritual energy from the Dantian has also formed vital energy. According to the manual, practice Qi 7-4 arrives at expiration star advances 77777. Practitioners can condense the sensed spiritual energy into a point, forming temperament completely matched. It seems that there is really no problem looking at the manual this way. The Investigation Bureau really has some capabilities. Then check the personal panel and the little Qi training, both have attribute values of ... strength. Bright stars and shadows attack the tide song, thunder every day, 1 level according to the attribute illustration. The comprehensive evaluation of the first level would attribute illustration is relatively weak in terms of price. Unable to tie up a chicken with bare hands. Little chicken for Wei Wei. You curl your lips. What kind of noob is the 22 series system? I am clearly strong right now. The other side. Liu Ruyan and Liu Kur meet. Lu Kur speaks. Your cousin said you were directly admitted to Tsinghua University. Congratulations, congratulations. Liu Ruyan frowned. Cousin, female. What happened yesterday? I was scared to death at that time. After the live broadcast was interrupted, I really thought something happened to you. The phone can't be reached. I am so anxious that Lu Kur immediately looked around, then leaned close to Lu Ruyan's ear, lowered the voice. Like smoke. The yesterday was actually more complicated than what was seen in the live broadcast. This world may not be as simple as we see on the surface. Lu Ruyan was taken aback. What does not simple mean? By the way, cousin, what happened to the person who entered the White Dragon Bridge yesterday? Luer's expression changed back to that person. Don't ask too many questions. I can only say that it looks about the same size as you, but it is completely not the same event as ours. This is absolutely confidential. After breaking up with Lu Kur, Lu Yuyan returned home in a daze. It can be imagined to be confidential. He is really excellent to that extent. This moment, he suddenly felt a bit regretful. Sent you a compliment and a curse by some mysterious force. You couldn't be bothered to reply after seeing the message. Praise and scold his arms as a clown. Just at this moment, Long Pinyin contacted He Shao. Come to the Investigation Bureau quickly. The subway incident has made some new progress. You furrowed your brows. I said the subway incident is not that simple. Sure enough, the Investigation Bureau had already intervened. Then you hurriedly came to the Investigation Bureau. Wang Ju. Helong. Peace brought someone to a guarded prison. 3 people with pained expressions are lying inside. Wang Ju speaks. These few people are the passengers who appeared out of nowhere on the subway at that time. After the event occurred, these few people have been under our surveillance. They originally had no difference from normal people. I plan to let go in a few days. I didn't expect there to be a problem now. Then turned to look at Long Pinyin. Peace. Do you have any discoveries? Long Pinyin nodded. When they were transported over earlier, I don't have any other feelings. But now they seem to have some faint aura emanating from them. It makes me very uncomfortable. However, you are much stronger than Long Pinyin, so the feeling is clearer. in your eyes. These people are wrapped in a few strands of black mist. This situation reminds you of the shadow cat demon and the void hunter in the illustrated guide. This black mist can affect the environment and living beings. That influenced person seems quite reasonable. Thinking of this, I spoke up. Open the door. Let me in to take a look. If there is some hesitation, this is probably a bit dangerous. It's nothing. I act as a consultant. Naturally, we need to do some practical things. If I can't do it either, then do you think others can solve it? Director Wang was slightly taken aback. It seems okay. Then the strength you displayed before is definitely at the top tier. If even he can't solve it, then probably no one can solve it. Thinking of this, he nodded in agreement. After entering the room, you walk to the person with the most obvious black aura. Bend down and prepare to touch the black mist. Warning. Polluter detected. Host. Run quickly. There is still a glimmer of hope. You raise your eyebrows. It's better to be cautious when dealing with the black mist. Then the body was instantly covered by a layer of spiritual energy. After the spirit is attached, you feel clearer. If the aura on the polluter is gradually strengthening, if measures are not taken soon, the consequences will be unimaginable. This enhanced speed is much faster than absorbing spiritual energy. Then you try to input spiritual energy into their bodies. However, it unexpectedly generated strong resistance. With a bang, the opposing airflow spreads outward. Long Pinyin was shocked. He Shao wasn't this strong when fighting against the dragon. Were you hiding your talents at that time? If that's the case, the so-called geniuses within the system all become a joke in front of He Shao. And at this moment, you heard the system prompt. The host is terrifying. Unexpectedly, with the body of a small chicken, bravely withstand the mist of the dead souls. The black mist category of the encyclopedia has been unlocked. You hurriedly checked the soul-devouring object, one of the 9 great black mists, once entangled by the soul-killing object and permeated into the body, gradually eroding vitality and soul. The object being eroded is called the polluter. The polluter is no different from an ordinary person in the early stage. Erosion is silent and imperceptible, gradually losing self-awareness in the middle stage. Attributes surge after a brief nap, furious and powerful. Later stage polluters lose their ability to think and judge. Once the soul of food is completely eroded, the object has completely become a slave of dark matter, never to return. This illustration makes your scalp tingle. I didn't expect the black mist to be so swollen. And there are also 9 types of it. From the effect of this food soul item, somewhat like a doomsday zombie, the key is still the zombies of the era of spiritual energy revival. What if zombies can fly and use magic in the future? Still playing with nonsense, this time the reward for collecting the illustration is to extract the soul food. The illustration reward is a special item, the key mold. The introduction of the mold is made of extremely special materials, not eroded by any kind of black mist, can increase the number of times the non-action key shape transformation occurs. You immediately frowned. This thing is good, but I can't level up. Shouldn't it be a power to completely purify or something? Suddenly, the shadows around the eyes began to spin wildly as if they were alive. Attempt to spread from the loss of square. Immediately following, the items have undergone a huge change. Otherwise, the steaming crimson eyes leap up from the ground, leaped towards you. Wang Ju and Longan are simultaneously sucking. And while you were shocked, you quickly distanced yourself. Then quickly took out the scorching Wu Wei key. The last time it was hot was when it was in the dragon. The keyless was attracted by the lightning attribute, instead of this time also having the ability that he covets. Just at this moment, one by one, it started to pounce towards you, and you have activated the ability of the Azure Sea and Blue Surplus. Waves ripple out from you in circles. This is the Song of the Tides. Can perform area healing and purification. But you never expected. This ability actually has no effect on the black mist at all. Under helpless circumstances, you can only hurriedly avoid. Then according to what is in my heart, turn the key of non-action into a scythe of death. The glasses-wearing man seems to feel the threat of the scythe. The black aura around the body is even denser. Then let out a roar, rushed towards you again. However, this time you acted extremely quickly. The sickle draws a beautiful yet deadly arc in the air. The man with glasses died on the spot. Then all the surrounding black mist was absorbed by the sickle. At any time, the other 2 people were also successfully transformed by the black substance. However, you already have a way to restrain yourself. All solved by you in a few seconds. However, you feel a bit uncomfortable in your heart. This is your first infection. And these are all ordinary forces. Just because being infected by dark matter, you died from your knife. Wang Ju patted you on the shoulder. Don't think too much. Everyone doesn't blame you. You didn't do anything wrong either. You answered that they are eliminating hidden dangers for the people, in case they are stranded outside. That is truly for the people. Next, you gave an explanation of the black mist. Symptoms in the early, middle, and late stages after being eroded. Wang Ju nodded. Thank you for your hard work today. We will come out for the follow-up matters. Will not affect you. Go back and have a good rest. After returning home, you just fall asleep. After a night's rest, you are much calmer. Take out the Spirit Energy Divine Tree Seed and have a look. This is the reward given by the Immortal Spirit Sky Map. First, say that it can continuously provide spiritual energy after it grows. Looked at the balance on my card again. It's time for the seed of buying a house to come to a sales center. The salesgirl smiles to welcome. Hello, sir. welcome to our property. May I ask what I can help you with? You thought there really wasn't any cliché or condescending plot. Not bad, not bad. Then laughed hee. I want to see your villa, especially those locations that are relatively remote. I like quiet. The salesgirl nodded. Start to seriously introduce the situation of the property. After listening, you pointed to a relatively remote villa and said, this building. The salesgirl was taken aback. I originally had no hope. Out of my professional ethics, serve every customer well. Is this person really here to buy a villa? Her voice was filled with excitement. Mister, the total price of this villa is 3.9 million. We offer multiple purchasing options. You can choose to pay in full. This way you can enjoy some extra benefits. If you choose to pay in installments, you can pay a 20% down payment first. You took out your bank card and interrupted him. There is a down payment in here. Let's sign the contract. The salesgirl's heart suddenly blossomed with joy. Really bought it. She is the most handsome person I have seen today. At the same time, Lu Kur also came to this sales office. When I heard that familiar voice from afar, he was instantly stunned and stood there in a daze. My God, it turns out to be her. Why can I encounter him wherever I go? Could it be that all of this is fate's arrangement? My life, Lu Kur, is destined to be extraordinary. This moment, the domineering CEO novels seem to be coming into reality. The opportunity is right in front of us. I must take the initiative. After you leave, Lu Kur found the salesgirl. Which villa did the gentleman just now buy? The salesgirl shook her head. I'm sorry. Customer privacy is not convenient to disclose. Lu Kur chuckled. Secretly revealed to me. I will buy a set of apartments from you with full payment directly. And only the name and phone number. If you don't say it, I don't say it. No one knows. The salesgirl was shocked. Oh my God. Is today my lucky day? Sell 2 sets of houses at once. The commission is simply taking off. And you, who knows nothing about this, returned home. At this time, Lyurian sent a message. Can we think that there is some misunderstanding between us? Can we meet and chat? You pouted. Talk about fart. The brother is destined to become the man of the king. Then it will affect our speed after a while. Then the division of seconds began to practice. The next day, you came to a place led by the saleswoman. After you went around, you nod in satisfaction. After the sales lady leaves, I can't wait to extend the spiritual energy. Find a suitable location. Plant the seeds of the Lingxi divine tree. After planting the seeds, you don't even know when this thing will grow up. Still need to find abnormal areas to explore. Suddenly remembered when I had breakfast the day before yesterday. Hearing the gossip between the 2 elderly people. The old woman's nephew sells chickens in the old forest west of Jiangzhou. But these past few days, every time it gets to night, there are clouds and mist floating in the forest. And there is also a pair of partners present. The red light in the eyes flickers on and off. The chickens at home are so scared that they don't dare to crow. I didn't pay attention at that time. It now seems that the old forest in the west indeed shows signs of revival. Thinking of this, hurrying out the door, in the blink of an eye, we have arrived at the stream. Old Lin just walked into the forest not long ago. You sensed a hint of unusual energy fluctuations. Carefully investigate. Discovered a thing similar to a formation placed on the ground. The air around the west side actually automatically converges towards the center of the law. Stunned. What is this thing? Then take a breath in a while. It looks like it was placed by humans. Just wanted to reach out and touch. A sudden angry shout came from behind. Stop it. What do you want to do? Immediately after, a man and a woman, with the woman frowning, spoke. Don't touch our things. We are just playing around. Quickly leave here. I'm just casually looking around. This is not your home again. On what basis are you driving me away? The man is angry. Are you going or not? If you don't leave, don't blame me for being rude. You chuckled. It's not that I'm not leaving. I want to see why the 3 of them can arrange the stone balls with spiritual energy. Listen till you finish speaking. The faces of the 2 people suddenly changed, full of disbelief in the eyes. Immediately after, a sigh came from behind. An old man dressed in a Taoist robe slowly walked out. In fact, you already discovered these 3 people during your previous investigation. They are all pioneers of Qi training. Seeing the old man appear, 2 young people respectfully stepped back. However, the old man directly cupped his fists and bowed to you. This scene shocked them greatly. Although they and the master are all practicing breathing techniques, but the master can defeat them with one hand. Why is there such respect for this kid? The old Taoist priest thought to himself. I actually can't see through the person in front of me at all. It is better to be a little more humble. This is not cowardice, is from the heart. At this moment, you also hugged the old Taoist priest. Then spoke up. Can you tell me what this thing is now? As soon as the words fell, the woman then spoke first. Why should I tell you, old? The Taoist turned around instantly. Xiao Yu must not mess around. Xiao Yu angrily stepped back. Turn around and whisper to the man next to you. Even if he is also a pioneer, we don't need this Sai either. How strong can he be alone? Moreover, we have 3. The man nodded. Exactly. I don't know what the master is doing. We are all. Shanshan a smile back without courtesy. I hope the little brother won't take a look. May I ask a question? What are you doing now, brother? Shock. You furrowed your brows. The long sword instantly switches out above the sword body. Flashes of lightning. A line appears. A deep ravine suddenly appeared behind me. This momentum is strong, causing a few people around to feel a sense of suffocation. Old Dao is shocked. This person's skills are so terrifying that in front of this sword, I feel like an ant. You speak softly. Can you tell me what that thing is now? The old way suppresses, shocked in my heart. This array teaching tool, the spirit array, comes from a book that has been passed down through generations in my family. You raise your eyebrows. Then who are you? Old and senile comes from the Qin Song Taoist temple. The two behind me are my disciples, Xiaoya and Xiaofeng. You were stunned. What? Why is the Taoist temple still a tourist check-in spot if you are from the relaxed Taoist temple? A few days ago, it suddenly closed. The old man sighed. It's a long story. Since the book my father passed down to me, I have tried more than once to practice some spells from the book. However, there is no effect at all. I thought what was said in the book was all a lie to you. Has already given up on cultivation. Until a night a month ago, a scene suddenly rises in the mountains. The 1,000-year-old tree in the Taoist temple blooms with dazzling light under the moonlight. Strange beams of light appeared on the trunk. I reach out to touch the trunk of the tree, surprisingly able to feel like crying to death. The old tree has come to life. Thus, I involuntarily began to practice the method of suffering in the Tao. I didn't expect to really feel the spiritual energy flowing towards me. That night, I officially stepped into the ranks of cultivators. The strange phenomenon never appeared again. I also let these two apprentices practice the difficult diagram. But this road is no longer feasible. At this moment, you suddenly interrupted. Wait a minute. If according to what you said, then why are your two disciples now extraordinary in qi refining? The old Taoist sighed with a smile. Half a month ago, several people claiming to be from the investigation bureau have arrived, took out a very special instrument. The Taoist temple suddenly radiated brilliance. I didn't dare to hide it, just confessed about the vision and Uncle Dao's matter. Also from that day on, the Taoist temple is not open to the public. As for my two unworthy disciples, the people from the investigation bureau exchanged a copy of the Taoist scripture with me for 2 pills. It is also these 2 pills that made them feel the spiritual energy. You are a bit shocked. It seems the higher-ups are still impressive. A elixir that can allow ordinary people to feel spiritual energy. It would not be an exaggeration to say it is a rare treasure. Plus the copied Taoist scriptures. Their growth rate is not slow at all. Thinking of this, fist salute to the old Taoist. I am also of no use. I have no problem looking at this spirit array. The old man nodded. Just don't make a big impact on him. Otherwise, the formation can easily have problems. Then you carefully touched the picture's hair. Discover rare material spirit stones. Discover the formation of the gathering spirit array. Then came to the formation. The formation absorbed that somewhat different stone. Discover the overall material star stone. Your eyes brighten. This time I got 3 Pokédexes. And there is also a divine body, Wu Hu Fei, following to check the illustrated book. Spirit Stone 000. Refining spiritual energy. The important force for enhancing cultivation, the star stone, comes from the spiritual energy of the celestial realm, containing the power of the stars. Not only can it significantly improve cultivation efficiency, it is also a key material for refining advanced magical tools and spirits. Spirit Gathering Array extracts cultivation array method. Absorb the spiritual energy from nature. Form a cultivation space rich in spiritual energy. At this moment, the old priest is looking at you lost in thought. I secretly thought that this guy wouldn't want to take someone to the fire. It shouldn't be possible. After all, it was submitted after the road. I can also be considered someone with a background. But what is he really thinking about here? At this moment, the old Taoist feels like his CPU is about to burn out. But he doesn't know at all. You are just extracting the Pokédex rewards. Extract Spirit Stone Encyclopedia Power +2. Extract Star Stone Illustration Power +3. Extracting the Gathering Spirit Array Illustrated Guide Reward Spirit Amplification Scroll. At this moment, your strength has increased from 10 points to 15 points. I am simply terrifyingly strong now. Then check the Aura Amplification Scroll. Instantly fill the body with spiritual energy. Yun sweeps hunger. Be yourself. You are suddenly enlightened. This is equivalent to unleashing an amazing ultimate move that requires emptying out to play. The result can instantly be full blue. Ask you if you're scared if you do it again. Just at this moment, the system prompts the host to collect 3 energy attribute illustrations again. Activate the current energy attribute pictorial effect. Host's perception of energy. Knowing the 1% that causes harm. Ignore target defense. You are shocked. My bean actually deals real damage. I simply won big this time. The gaze towards the old priest also added a touch of fervor. He is simply a lucky star. The old Taoist's body trembled. Finished. This wave is coming at me. I'm already of a certain age. How hungry is he? It's good that you spoke up and interrupted his thoughts. Speaking of which, why did you build the gathering spirit array here? Isn't it better to directly pour in easily and set up? The old man sighed. In fact, we want to lure the snake out of its hole. An elderly person went to bed last night. After midnight, the old woman said her son was missing. They originally wanted to go deep into the forest and come out, but after walking for a while, I heard strange sounds of crying and laughing. Scared them to run to a Taoist temple to find me for help. So that's why we set up the gathering spirit formation here. Let's see if we can wait for a rabbit by the stump. After listening to you, I instantly thought of the gossip from before. It seems that something has happened after all. At this moment, the old Taoist continued to speak. I have reported this matter to the Investigation Bureau this morning. Attach great importance to. Say that someone from the Spirit Energy Association will be sent to help. This time we should be arriving at the Spirit Energy Association soon. You are naturally among them. Actually, It's a yes. Either it's the people from the investigation bureau inside, either a pioneer with a clear identity. You chuckled. Then let's wait together. I also want to see what kind of monsters are in this old forest in the west. The old man didn't say more. Started cross-legged meditation with 2 disciples. You took out your phones. Started the game. Can make the game disappear. Suddenly felt the old man's body being covered by a surge of spiritual energy. You are stunned. At this moment, I have broken through to the 2nd star of chi refining. This old monk has some skills. The old expert who broke through stood up and bowed to me. Mr. He, the sword you wielded before has given me deep insights. Thanks to your blessings, I have broken through to the 2nd star of the chi refining realm. Wave your hand. Taoist priest. Don't blame yourself. This is the result of your continuous efforts in nurturing your emotions. It has nothing to do with me. Just at this moment, 3 figures are coming from a distance. The leader introduces himself. My name is Xiao Shan. It was the Spirit Energy Association that dispatched this mission. Isn't it us? Let's set off now. To avoid having too many dreams in a long night. In his cognition, among several people, this person's strength is barely enough. Although everyone is in the chi refining stage, I have rich practical combat experience. It will definitely be a crushing defeat if it comes to a fight. However, the above suggests that we should cooperate in the next life without showing off. As for you, Xiao Shan simply can't be bothered to care. At first glance, I can beat 100 high school students who look 18 years old. Gradually entering with the pedestrians, the surrounding environment has become darker. The president of the Spirit Chi Association, Xiao Shan, frowned. The environment here is strange. Everyone, don't be lazy, as the rest of the people also have serious expressions on their faces. Took out the phone and took a look. There is no signal here. A sudden gust of wind mixed with fog blew in. You hear a prompt ringing in your ears. Warning. High concentration of fog ahead. Extremely dangerous. The host at the forbidden zone level must not be. The probability of getting on is still 0. This kind of prompt has appeared in the subway station before. You also killed 2 doormen. I just don't know which of the 9 great black objects this black mist is. At this moment, a piercing roar came. Xiaoshan's shocking point to the front. What is that thing? Only to see vague figures in the distance approaching them as if facing a great enemy. At this time, several figures have already arrived near the mountain. Angry Hamada. This thing is a bit like a bat. After saying that, an earthy yellow light radiates from the whole body. Then a punch was thrown out. The bat at the very front died on the spot. You immediately withdrew the thought of making a move. This Xiaoshan is a bit interesting. At this moment, the old Taoist also made a move. The peachwood sword in hand keeps swinging. Cooperate with Xiaoshan's attack. Clean up the bat in front of you in no time. Xiaoshan looked at the old Taoist with eyes full of shock. The strength of this old Taoist is unexpectedly terrifying. It is very likely that they have already reached the 2nd star of the chi refining stage. And at this moment, you took the opportunity to touch the already dead bat, implying an evil creation of a leader and beings derived from soul-eating entities. Having a sharp tone, contains toxins, preference for group living, but is extremely afraid of bright light. You raise your eyebrows, again influenced by the food soul object. Just didn't wait for you to think more. Xiao Shan is once again born in terror. My god, how can there be so many? Not sure when. The front has already been covered by a dense mass of bats. The Taoist's expression is equally unpleasant. Even if I have broken through to the 2nd level of chi refining, but facing thousands of bats. The old Taoist anxiously turned back. Mr. He, let's evacuate from here. The old man's words stunned Xiaoshan. Can allow a 2-star strong person to attack like this. Could it be that this person has already broken through to 3 stars? How is this possible? How old is he? But at this moment, you are smiling. A large group of evil beings, also very spotlighted. Your fate is really not good. After saying, the thunder longsword appears. The aura of the whole body instantly erupted. Like a war god descending. A strong opportunity causes the bat ahead to stop moving. Xiaoshan was completely dumbfounded. My heavens, this spiritual energy has just shown signs of revival. How could such a terrifying person appear in the world? You did not pay attention to July, and a mouthful of fresh blood spurted out. Raise the sword. High sea. I summon thunder with my essence. Everything is dark before the break. That's right. This is exactly the ability you gained when you killed Lei Jiao before. The Thunder Heaven Law is activated with the Thunder Heaven punishment. The dark clouds quickly gather in the sky. With a loud rumble, countless lightning bolts dance wildly like silver dragons, slice through the night. All the bats were killed in just a few breaths. The few people in the back looked pale. The shocking expression lingered for a long time. You chuckle with a smile. Alright, it's already fine. Let's continue to explore. Everyone quickly followed like well-behaved babies. At this moment, you switched your longsword to the Grim Reaper's scythe, continuously absorbing the food souls around. The quiet one in the back has a heart racing with confusion. He is too strong. I didn't expect to encounter such experience points in my life. The majesty of thunder and the eeriness of the scythe are simultaneously occupied by him. It is simply a kind of forbidden beauty. Thinking of this, the face of the always obedient girl unconsciously flushed with a hint of redness. And you, who knows nothing about this, are extracting the sword and drawing rewards, hinting at a collection of abilities. Paralytic toxin. By releasing special toxins, interfering and paralyzing the opponent's aura flow, thus affecting the opponent's use of spiritual energy. You light up in front of you. This should be done when the enemy unleashes their ultimate move. Just thinking about that scene makes me feel bittersweet. As you continue to delve deeper, suddenly, a chilling sound of crying and laughter came from ahead. The crowd's footsteps paused. The sickle in your hand actually starts to heat up. Everyone be careful. There is something strange here. However, as soon as you finished speaking, suddenly, a withered hand reached out from the ground towards Ningjing. Ningjing was so scared that she let out a cry. You were quick with your hands and eyes to sever it.
1秒，更多的枯手从地底伸了出来。
Trying to drag everyone into darkness. Everyone is frantically resisting. And you frowned. Unexpectedly did not trigger the collection. Does this damn thing not even deserve to have a name? You suddenly thought of something. Hastily spoke. We must find the source as soon as possible. Otherwise, you haven't finished speaking yet. A mournful cry suddenly echoed through the forest. Zhang Yu, who was already on the brink of collapse, directly had a brain crash and fell to the ground. The old man hurriedly stepped forward. Little Moon, what's wrong with you? However, what responded to the old Taoist was the strange smile that appeared on Zhang Yu's face. This scene frightened everyone, causing their faces to turn pale. Maid, what on earth is this? It's really too strange. You frowned and spoke. This is not a solution. You take good care of him here. I'll go take a look. Not waiting for others to react. You have already rushed out with a sickle in hand. Deeper. The eerie cries and laughter grew more mournful. Gradually, a figure has appeared ahead. You were suddenly startled. IF *****ing hole. Why are there humans in this place? And it looks like it's still you. At this time, he made a rustling sound in his mouth for a while. It will make a whimpering sound in a while. An incredibly eerie scene makes your scalp tingle. The system quickly give me some hints. However, the system only replied with 2 words. Run fast. Next second, the woman then revealed her true appearance. You've completely lost your mind, damn it. Willow like smoke. At this moment Willow like smoke, smiling like a flower. Open arms. Can imagine you finally came. I've been waiting for you for a long time. Lu Ruyan's voice seems to have a kind of mysterious power. The originally dark forest gradually transforms into flowers, leaving you completely confused. What the hell is going on here? Willow like smoke speaks again. I guess you don't remember our agreement. You once said, we will reunite in the most beautiful sea of flowers. No matter how the world changes, you will find me. Your heart trembles, thinking of the promise made by the two under the cherry blossom tree on that afternoon. And at this moment, Lu Ruyan shyly lowers her head. Can you hug me? You walk forward with your eyes hazy. Then with a puff, a sword struck right at Lu Ruyan's heart. Mad.
得，你这脏东西要是幻化。
Maybe I'll just fall for it. But you just had to turn into Lu Ruyan to disgust me. What's up with that? I thought I was the previous sycophant. After speaking, he thrusts out a sword again. With a sound of A by Lu Ruyan, it turned into a cloud of smoke. Immediately, the surrounding scene changed back to spirit. A fox is coming out right in front of me now. At this time, the fox's middle Hongguan big fire. Waves spread out in circles. You immediately feel dizzy and lightheaded. Previously, you used Thunder Queen. The spiritual energy in the body is already running low. With no other choice, I could only unleash the brilliance of the Spirit Energy Amplification Scroll. Your spiritual energy is instantly restored, immediately followed by the ghostly scream starting. The heavily injured fox itself is directly underground, and you transformed the sword into a blade to strike and retrieve the fox's vital point. One is fearfully terrifying. You point one by one and strike to kill legendary level creatures. Carry sister a little again. You kill the legendary handbrake and receive 500 points. You are shocked. I'm going. This little thing is actually a legendary creature. There are a total of 4 types of biological hierarchies that I am currently exposed to. Leader level, Lord level, Epic level, Legendary. The boss level creature's first kill gave 30 points. The epic level creature first kill awarded 100 points. Legendary creature handbrake is even straighter. Directly give 500 clicks. If it weren't for killing a certain grade of creature, wouldn't it be worth thousands of points? But its attributes of over 100 points. Simply translates to simply exhilarating. Then you look around again. However, I did not find the fox's cup. You suddenly frowned. Are you one? Is there another hidden story here, or are there no remains? It seems that this matter is not that simple. Think of here to check its illustrated book. Phantom Shadow Fox Cub. Legendary creature. Possessing innate dark attribute power. Born master of illusion. Bloodline mystery. The number of tails gradually increases after adulthood. A tail, a world. 9 tails chaos the universe. You raise your eyebrows. Legendary creatures are indeed terrifying. Fortunately, this thing hasn't grown up yet. Extract illustration rewards. Obtaining the ability to excel in the same field can bring a target closer to an independent domain. And all attributes decrease by 10% to 30%. The specific decrease in value is related to the difference in mental state between both parties. And the target's decline attribute has a 10-minute period or duration for transfer to the user's domain within the field. When either party's target dies, it dissipates. Cooling time 3 days. Does not consume spiritual energy. Note, this field can evolve. After watching, you will be enlightened. Good guy. This skill used on a mage is a nightmare. Using it on teammates can save lives. Simply amazing. But you don't know. At this moment, in a cave deep in the forest, a white fox with 7 tails has energy raging all around it. He roared at the sky, feeling the disappearance of his bloodline. The ground is violently shaking due to the impact. At the same time,
与此同时，一股看不见的气息
instantly merge into your body. And you, who knows nothing about this, found the old Taoist priestess Zhang Yi. With the help of the tranquil water attribute spiritual energy, there has already been some improvement. Then you will kill the phantom fox cub. Did not find the news about the old lady's nephew and told all the old Taoists. Let out a sigh. With my current strength, I'm afraid I can't help the old lady find her nephew yet. I want to go back and quickly improve my strength. Think of a way to find it again. You nod your head. This is indeed strange, and I have a vague bad feeling. Leaving here first is the right thing to do. Everyone quickly left the forest. The old monk leaves you with 2 disciples, also preparing to ride a bike home. Unexpectedly, Ning Jing suddenly called you to a stop. Mr. He, please wait a moment. You are taken aback. Why is this child's face so red? Do you have a fever? Quiet is a bit shy. That Mr. He. It's so late. I have no friends in Jiangzhou. Can I go to your house and disturb you a bit? That being said, but in my heart, 2 little people are fighting. The angel actually spoke. Peaceful, oh peaceful. What are you talking about? As a good girl, how can you say such a thing? Devil mirror angry counterattack. What do you understand? It's not easy to encounter someone as stunning as you, so you must cherish it well. If you miss it, you'll regret it for a lifetime. Even the angel is angry.
是在纵容他堕落，气死我！
Let's have a fight. Then stood as a flower in Ningjing's mind. But who would have thought you would just shake your head and refuse to be quiet? How could it be rejected so excessively? Feeling a bit embarrassed. Then, inexplicably, I said, I don't live for free. I give you a how. After he finished speaking, he regretted it. We're doomed now. How could a big shot with such strong possibly lack money? I'm really so stupid. But after you listen, you are suddenly enlightened. Although the investigation bureau gave you a reward of 1 million before, but you use it to teach the villa tycoon, you still can't get rid of the title of a poor loser. This 10,000 yuan really came at the right time. Thinking of this, I spoke seriously. That what? Although I don't lack this 10,000 yuan from you, but I am in a situation where a girl is in danger. Come get in the car. Tranquility has become excited. Really? That's great. Thank you, boss. Then you ran away with Tranquility in a flash, only leaving behind the chaotic disappearance of the 2 in the wind. Team leader. Our group's pet is eager to spend money. Was taken away by someone. Xiao Shan sighed. Nonsense. I saw it. So what? I can't beat them again, so I left. I am going to write a report. In the blink of an eye, you have returned to the villa with Tranquility. After arranging a place for him to stay, you have come to a flower bed. Here grows the seeds of the Lingxi divine tree. You can already feel a faint fluctuation of spiritual energy. Such pure spiritual energy. A long aura in the gathering spirit formation. Much higher purity. Sure enough, products from the system are top quality. At this moment, Ningjing, who is washing up, is a little excited. Finally moved into your house. Quiet, 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 quiet. You must stay steady. Strategy experts must not be anxious. Thinking of you summoning thunder to annihilate bats today. Can hold the Grim Reaper's scythe to help him cut off the posture of the withered hand. The little face unconsciously starts to tremble. Tranquility. You can do it. You will definitely succeed in winning over the big boss. And yet you sneezed. I go. I have already reached 4 stars in chi refinement. Can I still catch a cold? Which little person is plotting against me behind my back? Don't let me catch you. Otherwise, I'll make you taste my big knife in no time. The other side. Willow Ruoyan is on the phone with her cousin Lu Kur. Is telling the story of the things that happened between him and you during this time. Lu Kur chuckled. Rest assured, this guy is definitely playing hard to get with you. I just want to use this method to attract your attention. Willow like smoke suddenly felt a burst of joy. Really? Cousin said so. Actually, he has already forgiven me in his heart. You're just too shy to speak up first, right? Looker naturally said. Definitely. Like smoke. You are so youthful and beautiful. Which boy wouldn't like it? Lu Yuyan, who hung up the phone, was exceptionally excited. I can imagine that you can't let go of me. Now I am clear about you can never escape from the palm of my hand in this lifetime. And at this moment, Lu Kur is equally excited. Because I found that your villa's lights were on. Haha. Fortunately, I cleverly bought the villa of Pear and Xiao recently. This is my greatest advantage. Next, we need to think of a way. Then we become friends. Finally. Hee. I can only think of you. The next day after you wake up, it was found that Ningjing had prepared breakfast early. You are taken aback. Yo he. This girl is a bit interesting. However, you still spoke up. When do you plan to leave? The peaceful little face fell down. Big boss. I am unfamiliar with this place. You are also not at ease with me being alone. I don't live for free. What do you mean by saying you are afraid that you might not agree? He directly took out his phone to transfer 10,000 to you. You frowned and were about to refuse, suddenly remembering the scene yesterday when she was treating Zhang Yu's wounds. The water attribute spiritual energy you have is for healing. Aside from that, are there any other functions? Tranquility suddenly became spirited. Some can turn into rainwater to nourish the earth. It can also condense into water swords and water moisture. Don't worry, big shot. I will not become a burden anymore. You waved your hand to interrupt. Can you plant trees? Forget it. Come with me. Then brought Ningjing to the flower bed. Pointing at the seed of the divine tree, he said. Release your rainwater at him. Quiet and well behaved, follow the instructions. With the watering of the rain, a faint mist begins to appear above the seed. Tranquility was shocked. This, how can there be such pure spiritual energy? Seeing this, it starts to fool around. Do you know why my strength is so strong? Quiet buzz in. I know. It is because the big shot absorbs pure mist every day. You shake your head. Wrong. Completely wrong. It is because I constantly manipulate and use spiritual energy to communicate with nature. Speaking of which, standing with hands behind the back. Do you want to become stronger? Ningjing immediately nodded. Very good. From today onwards, this seedling is entrusted to you. You need to think more about how to take care of it attentively. Only then can it grow strong. Qinghe nature is also a form of cultivation. Calm excitement clasping fists. Thank you very much for your guidance, big boss. You nod your head. Then you can cultivate here. I'm going out to take care of something. After you finish speaking, you turn around and leave. My heart is blooming with joy. Can plant trees and give money. Can still clean up. It is simply the perfect tool. Person. Out of the door. You have arrived at the vegetable market. Found the previous booth. Picked up the tomato and celery and took a look. This time the collection was not triggered. Again came to the next door. Picked up the cucumber. Similarly did not trigger the illustration. You furrowed your brows. Were those previous things just coincidences? You, who are not giving up, asked the tomato vendor about the source of the vegetables again. It is said that goods were received in Qingshui village. You are planning to go to. However, I didn't expect Director Wang to suddenly call. I hope you come soon. The investigation bureau is looking for you. Out of helplessness, you can only go to the investigation bureau first. After seeing Wang Ju, he handed over a document. This is the certificate specially made for you above. These special occasions should come in handy. Your eyes light up. With this certificate, it's indeed much more convenient to go to some abnormal areas. However, at this time, Wang Ju spoke again. In addition, there is one more thing. According to the original plan, the subway is about to be officially put into operation. But because that matter is worth swallowing, today I called you over. It is because the upper management researched the new equipment overnight. I would like to ask you to take this opportunity to go to the subway and take a look together. After speaking, he took out a watch. This is the latest developed anomaly detection watch. Can detect surrounding energy fluctuations. Unfortunately, it is not yet possible to mass produce. Can only lend it to you first. You casually took it over. After taking it and pressing the switch, a projection box unexpectedly popped up on the watch. Then a number 3 appeared in the projection frame. Shake. Shocked me. This is something that has not been developed in technology. Wang Ju smiles proudly. Don't underestimate the power of the upper class. The higher the value on this watch, the higher the outlier representing that area. Much more intuitive than the previous detector. At this moment, Wang Pingyan walked in with a woman. The woman is Wang Qian, whom I met earlier at the subway station. Wang Ju spoke. Wang Qian is very proficient in computer hardware and software. And it can also operate the subway. This incident will be left to the 3 of you. I hope to gain something. You nod. The last time I went was the last stop. Then this time we will start checking from the first station. Just arrived at the subway outskirts. Wang Qian let out a cry of surprise. Oh my god. There are actually 15 outliers here. You were taken aback. Previously at the investigation bureau, the abnormal value was only 3 points. Now it has soared to 15 points. It seems we have come to the right place. Then, you have entered the subway station. Once you come in, you can feel that there is black energy floating here. You frowned and spoke. Wang Qian, take a look at the outliers. Wang Qian raised her watch. The number 25 appears on the screen. The voice is a bit trembling. 25 points. And there is also an upward trend. You think to yourself, can make me, a person practicing for 4 stars, feel anxious and uneasy. This matter is indeed not simple. The last time I had this feeling, still facing the legendary creature cub Phantom 5. And the situation here has also been synchronized to the investigation bureau immediately. Instantly sparked high-level discussions. You will soon receive a call from Director Wang. Ridiculous. Anomaly of 25 points appears for the first time. No one knows what is inside. Seeing it may lead to a life and death situation. If you don't go, no one will blame you. You raise your eyebrows. Director Wang, if the outliers here continue to rise, what do you plan to do? Wang Ju was taken aback. There is currently no good solution for this. You nod your head. Good, I understand. I will do my best. After hanging up the phone, you look at a point and see Wang Qian looking first, and the consultant doesn't need to persuade me to leave. If there is really danger, you don't need to worry. I am not willing to be an ordinary person. I want to be a pioneer. After listening, you sighed helplessly. Then just go with what you want. After entering the carriage, you 3 checked every corner of the carriage. Nothing unusual was found. Then, Wang Qian checks the watch. At this time, the outlier is bouncing back and forth between 26 and 27. You have some doubts. Why are outliers not continuously increasing? Instead, it bounces back and forth. Wang Qian shook her head, indicates not knowing. A few minutes later, the subway has arrived at the next station. Although the subway station is empty, but you feel as if something has entered the subway, causing the concentration of black mist here to rise again. And as the subway starts moving, the abnormal values in the carriage have risen again, has turned into bouncing back and forth between 28 and 29. peaceful exclamation. Big shot. What is going on here that you haven't paid attention to? Instead, carefully observe the carriage again. Suddenly thought of the first time coming to the subway station. High concentration black fog enveloped area as prompted by the system. The light will be a bit dimmer than other places. Thinking of this, Wang Qianqian then raised her head to observe the lighting inside the car. Sure enough, it will be brighter at 28. It will be darker at 29. Then you came to a shocking conclusion. This damn subway seems to be breathing. Long Pingyan and Wang Qian were confused. The senior officials of the investigation bureau are also confused. If this is said from someone else's mouth, that would definitely get scolded as being crazy. But it just came from the mouth of that powerful explosive man. It seems to confirm your words. The subway suddenly accelerated. Wang Qian was unexpectedly thrown out. Fortunately, you acted in time to catch it. And Long Pingyan's whole body erupted with golden spiritual energy. Just barely standing firm. Immediately following, the command center sounded a sharp alarm. The monitoring screen displays the big words, danger. Technicians are extremely terrified. How could this happen? The subway has completely lost control, currently accelerating madly. And this speed after overclocking. Even if all restrictions are completely lifted, it still can't be achieved. Just at this moment, the monitoring screen made a crackling sound. Direct black screen. The elderly man in military uniform stepped forward. My son has already sacrificed himself for the country. Did I even manage to save my grandson? And at this moment, the subway is pitch black. The abnormality of the watch only shows 30. Wang Qian is a bit sad. Not yet become a pioneer. Am I going to die? So unwilling. But just at this moment, a white hole suddenly appeared in front of the subway. The subway plunged in like a steel beast. The subway suddenly came to a halt. The carriage gradually became transparent. Ancient houses appeared before my eyes, immediately followed by a noise. You guys see how strange those people's clothes are. Isn't it someone from out of town? Don't talk too much. Maybe it's a noble person. You three are completely confused. What the hell is going on? The other side. Yuan Chang said seriously to Wang Ju. The last accident occurred at the subway terminal station. Suddenly, several passengers fainted. This is still barely understandable, but this time He Shaosan and the others are still in the car. Unexpectedly disappeared together. There is probably a lot of content in this. We can no longer sit and wait for death. I nodded expressionlessly. I will arrange it right away. Then came all the fully armed people. We are now going to search with all our strength for one to come to me. There is one thing that guarantees the safety of the people. This task is very likely to die. Want to leave on your own with the phone. Not lonely. Do not punish. However, what responded to him was a resonant and powerful voice. Fight with one's back against the water. Dauntlessly strike a sound. And at this moment, Long Pingyan has moved close to you. Whispered a question. What should we do about this now? I first glanced at my watch. The outlier is still 30 points. Then sighed. I don't know either. Can only take one step at a time. Then, several people are walking forward. After a few minutes, seeing a mother and daughter. The little girl is innocent and cute. When will mom and dad come back? The woman gently stroked her daughter's hair. Dad, he should. At this moment, you feel a tremor in your arm. The original outlier of 30 suddenly soared to 80. At this moment, the woman's eyes are blood red, protruding canine teeth. He probably won't come back. As soon as the words fell, the surrounding buildings began to fade away. The originally noisy crowd has quietly stood behind the woman. Immediately afterwards, the black mist surged from behind them. Those shrouded in black mist also began to have blood-red eyes. This bizarre scene makes your scalp tingle. Long Pingyan roared. Brother, we fought with them. Translates to, hurry up and run. After saying that, he grabbed Wang Xian and turned to run. Long Pingyan was able to do it once. Also quickly catch up. You think to yourself, the legendary creature cub is only 30.1. Long straight is now 80 points. Don't say that I consumed most of my spiritual energy before. Even if I am in top form, I may not be sure how to deal with these things. At this moment, those ghostly beings have already chased after you. You frowned and spoke. Run towards the direction of coming to the subway. I hope to find the transfer point that has been crossed over. If unable to find, then we can only do our best. And at this time, Wang Qian, who was caught by you, has a face full of sweat. Why do I need to be protected by others? I also want to fight alongside them. Gradually, he actually felt a trace of spiritual energy in the midst of the crisis. Don't know how long I've been running. The scenery around changed again. Sinister faces began to emerge on the wall. At this moment, you are shocked to see the numbers on the watch constantly rising. 81, 82. Do you feel like going crazy at 83? This damn thing is about to enter the second phase as soon as the words are spoken. The ground began to tremble continuously, and suddenly a thing resembling an octopus tentacle shot out from the underground. You pulled Wang Qian and hurriedly dodged. Can the next second, tentacles appear as if they are free. In helplessness, you can only keep slashing the tentacles with the thunder sword and Long Pingyan, but this is also slowing you down. That group of ancient bizarre creatures has already charged over. You can only fight while retreating. Just as Wang Qian was in despair, Long Pingyan suddenly exclaimed. Gidge! Quick look! A faint white light appeared not far away, and you suddenly felt energized, even running a bit faster than before, with an ancient eerie anger. Angry that these prey are about to escape their control, they collectively let out a roar, and the black mist immediately surged out. Unexpectedly surpassed you in an instant, then slowly gathered into a human shape in front of the white hole, cold and cunning in your eyes. The scythe behind you gleams with a ghostly light, you are extremely angry. Good. I have been running away for so long, exhausted to death. It's not easy to see you, but here you are acting as a gatekeeper with me, isn't it? Long Pinyin has instead calmed down at this moment. I was already prepared when I came. I also want to dedicate everything to the country like my father. Brother you are strong, high talent. To die here is a huge loss for Long Bo, so you run with Wang Qian. I'll hold this thing down. Time seems to freeze at this moment. The ancient weirdness from behind also stands firm.
你们三人如待宰的羔羊。
You start to drift with light rain enveloping peace. Slightly raise your head. The breath of nature is really nice. Then turn back to look at you and shall be mother-in-law and mother-like. I still have means not used. Don't let me die in vain. However, the tragic scene was shattered by your big force. You have a. Where does your confidence come from to know how strong that thing is? You use your seconds and manually a hammer. After speaking, you take a step forward. Take good care of Wang Qian. At this moment, it's my turn to show my divine power in front of others. Then all 500 points obtained from killing the phantom fox were exchanged for attribute points. Also evenly distributed the warrior attribute points to strength, constitution, agile, spiritual charm. This also allows you to directly break through from Qi refining 4th star to Qi refining writing. At this moment, an attack is heard by the ear. Congratulations to the host for breaking through from Qi refining realm spirit Qi 7 to Qi refining realm transforming Qi 7 and obtaining all forms of attack in the small celestial body. There is a 10% chance of a critical hit. Causes double damage. After the system ends, breath suddenly surged. Under the drive of this momentum, the rainwater transforms into countless waters. Water spreads out. Although the water knife ahead was knocked down by the scythe black stone, the water jet from behind killed a large area. This scene makes one feel hot-blooded in the cage. Is it the popularity that is said to be a narrow victory for the qualified? It's really great. The spiritual energy within him actually moved on its own without anyone pushing it. It seems that a sleeping giant dragon is awakening inside the body. A thunderous dragon roar instantly allowed him to break through to the 2nd star of Qi refinement. But it's not over yet. Immediately, his spiritual energy evolved into substance and rotated around his body. This signifies that she has officially entered the Qi refining stage, 3rd star. At the same time, Wang Qian is also under the influence of your aura. A figure woven from spiritual energy gradually emerges behind me. You are suddenly enlightened. I didn't expect Wang Qian to really become a pioneer. This understanding is truly against the heavens. Looked again at Long Pinyin not far away. You little brat also want to steal my thunder. Finished speaking. Raise the long sword high. Spiritual energy erupted with thunder again. Heavenly law activation. Accompanying your drive. The dark clouds gather in the sky. A loud thunder and lightning dance wildly. 顷刻间就将底下的古代诡异消灭大。 The scythe black envoy finally couldn't sit still. The scythe in hand carries a sense of death as Long Pinyin roars. Brother I come to assist you. You just waved your hand. You and Wang Qian have some leftover junk in your hearts. Hand over the scythe-wielding ghost thing to me. Finished speaking. You and the scythe black make the body simultaneously wrapped in a black halo. This is exactly the reward for extracting the Phantom Fox illustration. The brilliance of the outstanding children's field flashes. Your figures disappeared in an instant. Long Pinyin was shocked. Wodafa, I know He Shao is very strong. Such means as you have really can be used by people. And at this time in the realm of Yutong, you stand facing the scythe black envoy. The effect of the domain gradually transfers some of your attributes to you. You give a bitter smile. The more my breath increases. This guy is getting stronger. It's somewhat uncomfortable. The field can only last for 10 minutes. We must find a way to solve it here. He thought of this. Transform the long sword into the Grim Reaper's scythe. Your scythe is transformed from black mist. And my scythe is specially designed to absorb black mist. I don't believe this can't be dealt with. The scythe black stone felt an unprecedented share. The scythe swings in with a breath of death. You are facing it head-on. The collision of spiritual energy and death energy. Instantly, the black mist scattered. The scythe black stone is simply terrifyingly strong. You are being beaten back step by step. However, your death scythe is absorbing the scattered black mist. You also become stronger as you fight more. After a few minutes, they began to press the scythe black envoy. Gradually, he began to become illusory. The spirit is somewhat listless. You take the opportunity to use the nether screech. The scythe black messenger was instantly stunned in place. You strike out with a knife. Triggered the effect of the title, a small test of skill. Directly cut it off. Then the body of the scythe-wielding black figure transformed into black mist with a bang. All absorbed by your death god scythe. However, what you never expected is, after the Grim Reaper's scythe absorbs the black mist, actually turned into the style of a sickle in Blackstone's hand. Just one more eye than him. You are a little excited. My hole like this is much more stylish than before. The domain dissipates at this moment. You appeared on the ancient street. The ancient anomalies have been completely cleared by Long Pinyin and Wang Qian. Long Pinyin laughed loudly. Brother, you have come out. It seems that thing was taken care of by you. You nod your head. Let's go. This place is too strange. It's better for us to leave early. Then, Long Pingyan and Wang Qian entered the white hole first. However, when you walk in halfway, yet suddenly in my heart, you suddenly turn back. I always feel like something is watching me on the empty ancient street. However, the white hole emitted a tremendous suction force. Your consciousness gradually blurs in the white light. However, at this moment, a figure appeared on the ancient street. I just found out about myself. Somewhat interesting. It surprised me again and again. Even this that I'm writing hasn't been put to use. He solved it himself. However, it's just a chi refining realm. Not simple, huh? I increasingly can't understand it. But just at this moment, the surrounding scene begins to collapse. A shadow sighs. Time is up. I should go too. And you, who knows nothing about this, have already appeared on the subway. Wang Ju excitedly called. Electrification. He Xian. It's good that you are fine. We have recovered. You will soon arrive at the final destination. We are waiting for you here. After hanging up the phone, you glanced at your watch again. This exception is only displayed as 2 points at this time. You breathed a sigh of relief. It seems that this subway incident has been temporarily resolved. A few minutes later, you guys exit the subway. Wang Ju has long been waiting again. Next, you will recount what happened during this period one by one. Finally, a thick file was formed. A white hole is temporarily referred to as a spacetime light hole. The world within the vortex is temporarily referred to as the spacetime world. Only everyone overlooked that sudden occurrence. After handling everything, you just remembered to check the encyclopedia. The wrong empty space exists within the cracks of time and space. It is the intertwining of history and reality. The flow of time in the wrongly clicked empty space no longer follows common sense. The boundaries of space are vague and unclear. History reappears here. Reality is lost here. It is both the baby of the explorer. It is also the grave of adventurers. After watching, your scalp tingles according to what the guidebook says. The white hole should be the entrance to the void, but I don't know what that last figure really is. Could it be an old monster that has lived for over 10,000 years? I can enter the wrong space through the white hole. Can that thing come out from inside? You suddenly take a breath of cold air. If it really is like that, that would be a big problem. However, it shouldn't be possible. Otherwise, the world would have been in chaos long ago. No matter what, still need to improve strength as soon as possible. Thinking about this, I can only extract the illustrated guide. Affect one of the time-space hourglass when obtaining special items. Slow time and space, sand flows down finely. Slow down the flow of time in the surrounding environment. Effect 2. Time and space regression. The sand is quickly clear. The time river of the environment surrounding the forced countercurrent. Realize the reversal of the electric meter. You were shocked after watching. My mom. It turns out to be a time artifact. This thing can change fate against the heavens if used well. Simply awesome to the point of explosion. Just at this moment, Wang Ju found you and a consultant. Thank you for your hard work today. I originally intended to commend the three of you, but money is too common. You wave your hand to interrupt. Don't. Wang Juqian is quite good. Just this one. Upon hearing, Wang Ju's eyes flashed with a hint of admiration. This and the consultant knows that the spiritual energy has just revived. Those cultivation resources are very precious. That's why I chose the most vulgar money. Simply too great. After receiving the money, you have returned to the villa. It is already early morning. As soon as I entered the door, I saw Ning Jing walking over. Big shot. You finally came back. Are you tired? Do you want to eat something? I'll go make you a late-night snack. A warmth rises in your heart. Since grandma passed away, I haven't felt this sense of someone waiting to go home for a long time. Really can't do it. You can recognize Ningjing as a younger sister. Charge him a little less money. If Ningjing knows your thoughts about this, must spit blood. Someone wants to be your sister. Someone wants to learn ABC with you for comfort. At this moment, you said, not eating for now. It's so late, you haven't rested yet. Tranquility. Yao Yao head. I am used to staying up late. By the way, do you want to go take a look at the saplings? After listening, your eyes light up. Could it be that there are results? Then came to the flower bed with Ningjing. The original seed has already grown. The aura emitted by the saplings has become several times more intense than before. You nod with satisfaction. Well done. Worthy of praise. Ningjing is a bit shy. Just complimented. Is there any reward? You are stunned. What reward do you want? Tranquility gathers courage. Can you take me with you the next time you go out? You think to yourself. Always treating Tranquility as a tool person seems a bit excessive. Just right. There is a place that needs to be explored. Then just bring him along. Quiet here. A smile. I will go to Qingshui village in a few days. I want to go. I'll take you to see the scenery. After returning to the room, calmly excited, I posted a moment on WeChat. Finally had another drink with the big shot. He promised to take me to Qingshui village to relax. Not long after, a phone call came in. This woman is a pioneer known as the Iceberg Female CEO. Hello, Sister Bing Bing. It's so late. Is there something going on? Shen Bing smiled coldly. Quietly. Do you want to take me to Qingshui village? Quietly stunned. This is not very good, right? And I still don't know the specific time. Shen Bing took a breath. Silly child. You know nothing. Also dare to go with him. Not afraid of him either. You go to my hometown, which is near Qingshui village. By the way, let's go take a look together. I'll pass by your little boyfriend. Ningjing's face suddenly turned red. Sister Bing, don't say random things. I haven't even started dating yet. Shen Bing chuckled and smiled. Seeing how anxious you are. That's settled then. Remember to notify me then. The next morning you found Tranquility. Anyway, I have nothing to do. Let's go to Qingshui village today. Are we going today? That big shot. Can I bring a friend along? You frown. What kind of friend? Ningjing is a bit nervous. She is also a sister of our Spiritual Energy Association. She seems to want to go back home to take a look recently. His hometown is near Qingshui village. Your gaze is somewhat profound. Not impossible either, but we don't have a car. Going to Qingshui village might still be quite troublesome. Understanding instantly after listening to Ningjing. It seems that the big boss wants Sister Shenbing to be a dual tool as a driver and tour guide. However, it doesn't matter, just thinking about the look of the aloof female CEO being shocked by the big boss. He is unusually excited. Very soon, a SUV arrived in front of your villa. After Shenbing saw you, I thought this is the pretty boy that Ningjing has taken a liking to, but I can't see anything special about him. Forget it. I'll observe in secret for a while first. After a few people exchanged pleasantries, Shenbing will drive you to Qingshui village. Just arrived at Qingshui village. It was found that this place had already been shrouded in grey mist. You immediately frowned. I thought this place would be a paradise like the White Dragon River. However, I didn't expect the eerie atmosphere to be so strong. Several people took a stroll around the village. Shenbing is somewhat surprised. Where has this person gone? According to reason, yesterday the river god Jie just finished. It can't be this quiet today. You hurriedly asked in your heart. What is river god Jie? We originate from an ancient legend. A long time ago, Qingshui village once suffered from a severe drought. Crops wither. The river has dried up. When the villagers were in despair, a soft glowing blind oracle appeared out of thin air. The body transforms into cleanliness. Feeling a bit nervous deep down, feeling anxious in my heart. After being filled, the villagers regard the divine fish as the embodiment of the river god. Every year, a sacrificial ceremony is held at the Qingshui river. After listening, you fell into contemplation. This legend reminds you of the story of praying for rain in the Bailong River and Milan. That story directly led to the emergence of Lei Jiao a few days ago. Could it be that this time they also thought of this place? Exclaimed in alarm, not good. Go to Qingshui river quickly. After speaking, he drew out the thunder longsword and turned to leave. Shenbing, who was following behind, was shocked. My heavens! Is this the legendary spirit weapon? The reason he knows Lin Bing. It is because the president of the Spiritual Energy Association possesses a frost blade. It is said that one strike can freeze the opponent into an ice block. Those who can possess the spirit ice are definitely the most top-notch pioneers. This and the little one is only 18 years old and is already a top-level strong practitioner at the second star of Qi refining. This must be heard by Long Pinyin. Probably laugh until you lose your big teeth. But just at that moment, a scream came from the sky. Ningjing looked up and exclaimed, "What is that thing?" A huge monster bird is hovering above your head. You swing your sword and unleash a bolt of lightning attacking the monster bird. However, he easily dodged it. But he did not initiate the attack. Instead, it flew away with red light flashing in its eyes. You frowned. This thing seems to be scouting our movements. Everyone be careful. This village has big problems. But what follows is even more strange. You have been walking for more than 10 minutes. But the surroundings are full of crimson weeds, withered tree and vines. Shenbing suddenly spoke up. Why does this road feel so similar? Although we are not walking very fast, but it should have gone out. After listening, you had a bad premonition. Then, he drew a line on the dead tree with a sword and continued walking. This time walk a little faster. After more than 10 minutes, you saw the story that was scratched again. What is the situation that makes you a little scared? It feels like I've encountered the legendary ghost wall. You think to yourself, if there is a problem with this kind of system, there should be a scene-type pictorial prompt. Or do I miss some important information? Thinking of this, start to recall the scenes along the way. Suddenly thought of what an illusion is. The strange bird is not here to scout, but instead imposed an illusion on us. Immediately, ripples spread out in circles from around you. It is exactly the blue sea, because the tide song extracted from the illustration works with the system. You are right at the junction of the village and the weeds. No movement. Ningjing Shenbing was greatly shocked. It really is that strange bird causing trouble. You nod your head. That thing is very likely trying to buy time. We need to speed up. Then the few people moved forward again. Didn't walk for long. A vine suddenly sprang out from the ground. You swing the sword down. Unexpectedly, the sound of crystal delivery was heard. You are stunned. This vine is surprisingly resilient. Can the next second, several more vines are attacking you. At this time, Tranquility exclaims, "Boss, my aura feels that the vines are absorbing the energy of the weeds." The phrase, "we should first attack those weeds," seems to have angered them. Countless vines instantly drown you completely. At this point, it is too late for you to think about attacking. Out of helplessness, you painfully take out the time-space hourglass. There is only this much sand inside. Can save a bit. With the slow time and space activation, the surroundings seem to be frozen. Then you quickly attack the surrounding weeds. After a short while, everything will be cleaned up. And the vines seem to have lost their nutrients. Instantly lost its color. You gently touched it with your hand and it turned to ashes. At this moment, the system prompt sounds. First kill of a Lord-level creature rewards 50 points. Obtaining the material illustration is the Blood Demon Grass. Obtaining the biological illustration of the Blood Vine Demon Insect. At this moment, Shenbing thought to himself, I didn't expect Jingjing's strength to improve during this time. At this time, the pain is not only strong in power, The means are still so strange. The hourglass just now is obviously not an ordinary object. Why does it feel like the most useless spell among the 3 people now? Then several people continue to move forward, and you take the opportunity to check its encyclopedia. Bloodthirsty demon grass. A kind of evil plant born at the intersection of blood and darkness. Their presence often signifies ominousness and threats in the surrounding environment. They and the blood vine. They has formed a bizarre symbiotic relationship. After watching, you became even more uneasy in your heart. The villagers here might really be in trouble. Hurry up and extract it. Extract the crimson blood demon insect and you will be stunned. How does this still relate to charm? What is the use of this charm after all? However, the system did not respond to your inquiry. Then check the biological encyclopedia. The blood vine demon insect, a lord-level creature, continuously absorbs the blood energy from the blood demon grass. Thus obtained an exceptionally strong vitality and aggressiveness. Once provoked, extremely difficult to deal with. Ability obtained after extracting rewards. Bloodthirsty frenzy activates the user's potential in a short time through burning blood. The mysterious attribute increases by 50% within 5 minutes, and the attack carries the absorption effect. Absorb the opponent's vital energy, used to supplement one's own vitality. After the blood burning ends, Xian attribute decreased by 90%. Continues for 12 hours. Each one has abilities similar to a berserker. If used well, it can be considered a little magical tool. Keep moving forward. Soon saw a shocking scene. A group of people was seen surrounding an altar ahead, motionless. Ningjing is somewhat frightened. They wouldn't have already fought. Hit. As soon as the words fell, the last villager in the row slowly turned his head. The position of the eyes is a pitch-black hollow. A vague sound coming from the mouth. River god. The river god descends. Suddenly, a smell of blood wafted in. A surge of gray-black smoke rises from inside. A blurry figure slowly emerges, and the originally clear Qingshui River instantly turned dark red. Immediately, columns of water shot up into the sky, pouring towards the blurred figure on the altar. You turned around and said to Shenming's 2 daughters, "Be extra careful here," then rushed out holding the thunder sword. But just at this moment, sudden mutation. The originally quiet villagers began to tremble continuously. Immediately, black smoke rose from the head and gathered towards the altar, and you didn't have time to stop it. The villagers fell to the ground and died. This scene makes you feel both shocked and angry. The thunderbolt long sword strikes out with the force of 10,000 Jun. Just wait until you hit the target. A deep black light wraps around you like a living tentacle. You are horrified in your heart. What the hell is this thing? As soon as the words fell, a sudden darkness envelopes you. However, the darkness quickly recedes. You find yourself standing in a void made of black light. Be vigilant in your heart. Is this a resource space? It's somewhat similar to my superior pupil domain. At this moment, a figure 1111111111 is a piece of pitch black, exuding an aura of sanctity and inviolability all over. Mortal, why do you dare to be disrespectful to the gods? Who gave you the courage to disrupt this sacred atmosphere? However, you insist on one thing. You are also worthy of your divine anger. The person with the copper sulfate actually speaks such wild words. Helplessly, the deity protecting this land allows you to slander at will. After speaking,
如海浪般的威压胁。
then prepare to resist. However, I didn't expect. This pressure was actually absorbed. You are a bit stunned. What is this thing? Why does it still feel a bit cool? The river god was shocked. His aura of power is formed by the devotion and reverence of countless believers over the years. This power once made countless beings tremble before him, but now it is ruthlessly devoured. How is this possible? At this moment, you laugh mockingly at Shouja. Your pressure on me is just a bluff.
不过也对，你就是个肮脏的爬。
What kind of pressure is there? If it is a true guardian, how could it dilute the vitality of the villagers? The river god became angry out of shame. An ignorant mortal dares to provoke the gods 5 times and 3 times. Since you are so obsessed and unrepentant, then today will definitely make you lose your soul and spirit. Then, he has a dark body. Energy explosion. A trident instantly appeared in his hand. The river god roared, "Foolish mortal, die!" Swinging the trident, it suddenly attacks you. You wield the thunder longsword. Rather than a fierce collision, with a bang, you both were repelled by the force. The river god was somewhat in disbelief. My trident has an extraordinary origin. Unexpectedly did not directly shatter it. What level of weapon is that long sword? At this moment, you lean forward again. After several collisions, you actually only counterattacked the river god. After the two suddenly separated, their spirits became radical and crazy. Kid, you have completely angered me. After speaking, a burst of incomparably thick dark energy, then condensed into an energy ball nest, you swept away, and the aura around you suddenly erupted. The thunder bursts forth from the long sword. Intense collision with that dark energy, mutual devouring. The river god was shocked. Why does the power of my faith, which I am most proud of, have no effect on this kid at all? Could it be that this kid is also a divine messenger? Since he hurriedly spoke up, Don't hit me yet. We should be able to cooperate. You directly waved your hand to interrupt my collaboration with a loser like you. Then they fought with the river god again. The river god roars loudly. Ignorant mortal. You are challenging not just me, and the order of this world. Something big is going to happen. You let out a cold snort. I don't care about your order. Today we must take down. Then obtained 57 points for killing the Bloodvine demon. All have been exchanged for strength. This also allows you to directly break through to the 8th star of the Chi refining realm. Immediately, a dark green light appeared on the long sword. It is precisely the ability to suggest a pictorial guide. Paralytic Toxin battles the river god again. After several rounds, the river god Gene Hai was born. What did you do to me? Why has my aura been weakened? And in response to him was a ghostly gap, stunned and frozen in place by the deity. You take the opportunity to strike with a knife. The direct result was his life. At this moment, the system prompt sounds. The host Neo Pai actually single-handedly killed the legendary creature Blue Source Linchi. Did you pick? This thing is indeed a legendary divine object. Then check the illustrated guide. The blue kite spirit thunder god comes from the mysterious abilities of the deep blue kite, triggering the elemental department of the gods. Mastering the deep water magic. You are I won. He really is a divine messenger. However, if these so-called divine messengers are like this, then they have no reason to exist. Just a hypocritical thing. Then extract the illustration reward to gain the ability to flow through the river for 5 minutes, and receive the following divine. The water flow shield automatically forms a water shield that surrounds the entire body. Absorb part of the damage to gain one's own life. Spirit Energy Thrust. During close combat attacks, there is a chance to trigger a Spirit Energy Thrust. Causes additional water attribute damage and put the target into a brief immobilization state. Divine Might Oppression. Create a sense of oppression against surrounding enemies. Lower the enemy's fighting will. Action Power slows down the baptism of divine grace. During the possession period, one can purify all negative states and adverse effects once. The possession effect bonus is related to charm. The higher the charm, the higher the affinity, the stronger the effect. Cooling time 72 hours. You are shocked. I'm going. This ability is simply explosive, and you finally understand that the effect of charm is somewhat similar to the power of belief. The higher the charm value, the stronger the power of faith. This is also during the previous battle with the river god. The reason his intimidation has no effect on you. You are really excited. The next goal is very clear. Find the messenger of God. Ability to snatch. This bandit leader. I have made an appointment with Xiao Dang. At this moment, dimensional space collapse. You appeared in front of the altar. The black mist is gradually dissipating at this moment. Shen Ning immediately left. You finally came out. How is it? Is there any injury? You shake your head. That guy has already been taken care of by me. The crisis is temporarily resolved. Unfortunately, we couldn't save the villagers here. Then you explained the situation here to me at the bureau. Wang Ju frowned. I didn't expect such a strange thing to happen in Jiangzhou. However, you just hung up the phone. Just turn back in an instant. There is some noise over there. Say, you. Your sword rushed forward. Upon closer inspection, it is a little girl with a face full of fear. You suddenly put away the long sword. Exposed effect. Who are you? How could you be here? But the little girl tightly held onto the cloth doll and stepped back a few. At this time, Shen Ming's 2 daughters arrived. Hurry up to comfort. Little sister, don't be afraid. We will not hurt you. The little girl hesitated for a moment. My name is Little Shadow. Just live in this village. You speak gently with your lower body. Xiao Ying, can you tell us what has happened in the village? Through Xiao Ying's narration, you learned that she was brought back by the village chief grandpa from outside. The village chief grandpa raised him up. Very good to him. Because the village chief is the organizer of the sacrifice, referred to by villagers as the spokesperson of the divine in the human world. So the villagers also cherish Xiao Ying very much. One day he woke up in the middle of the night and found that his grandfather was not at home, so went out to search. Yet, in horror, I discovered that grandpa was leading a few people to push a villager trapped in the magnolia down into the clear water. The grandfather's eyes were filled with indifference towards life. He was so scared that he spent the whole night having nightmares. But the next day, grandpa has once again become kind and amiable. The next few days, he secretly follows his grandfather every night, watching him push one villager after another into the water. Later, she finally couldn't help but tell the other villagers about it. What can be exchanged for it is the estrangement of everyone, also labeled as disloyal to the river god and as an outsider. When she saw her grandfather again, extremely scared, but grandpa didn't hit or scold him. Instead, he still said kindly, "What the eyes see is not necessarily true." Just yesterday, grandpa gave him a piece of candy. Let her finish eating and have a good sleep. She knows that if she eats the candy, she might never wake up again. It should be thrown into the river. Little did he expect that after he woke up, there is actually only one living person left in the village. After listening to Xiao Ying's narration, Shen Ming's 2 daughters cried loudly. But your brows are furrowed even deeper. It seems a bit off. Always feel like something doesn't make sense. But for a moment, I can't remember. At this moment, Wang Ju and Long Pingyun brought people over. Consultant He. Are you all okay? You shake your head. It's nothing serious. I will take you to the altar over there first. Then, Then, you brought a few people to the altar, although it has been known in advance. But seeing a village of people lying on the ground, they are still extremely angry. This ghostly thing, where on earth did it come from? The rumors about the river god Jia should have been around for many years. Why would this happen at this time? You sighed. These are still unknown at the moment. Wang Ju nodded. The matter of the investigation will be left to us. I will send more personnel. Figure it out as soon as possible. By the way, let's hand over that little girl to us first. At this moment, you leaned close to Wang Ju's ear, whispered, check carefully. This girl is more discreet. Tell me as soon as you have news. She may not be as simple as she appears on the surface. She is a pioneer. Previously in Xiao Ying's account of the villagers being thrown into the river, you feel her breath fluctuations, not fear and terror. Instead, it's a bit like the breath fluctuations of those villagers who all died when they were so angry. How can he be intact and unharmed, including the strange birds that appeared before, never appeared again afterwards? Is it possible that the strange bird and the little girl are a force together? Thinking of this, I looked towards the not far away little shadow with Ningjing, and this little girl always feels a bit inscrutable. Not simple, huh? After everything was explained, Director Wang suddenly spoke up. Why bother asking about the matters of the cherry blossom country? Have you heard? You shake your head. I'm not sure how a major earthquake happened over there. And it also triggered a super strong tsunami. I'm afraid that the abnormal events over there will affect me. You were taken aback. What does it mean? Could it be that you want me to go for a trip? Wang Ju shook her head. How is it possible that we can't even handle our own matters? It is necessary to pay attention to and warn against prevention. You think to yourself, whatever earthquake or tsunami, it might be caused by the river's wastewater. The top priority now is to find a divine messenger for that reward. Just thinking about it makes my mouth water.